Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity on the Avenue Spiritual Center. Today we're going to talk about doing a lot of good. This is a good one to keep in mind. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, and the world needs all the good that I can do. That again. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, and the world needs all the good that I can do. Same words, different melody. Here we go. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good I can do. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, and the world needs all the good I can do. Back to the other one. Cannot do all the good that the world needs, and the world needs all the good that I can do. One more time, here we go. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, and the world needs all the good that I can do.
So we are unapologetically inclusive here. That means whoever, take a deep breath, whoever walks in that door is welcome. So it's really wonderful that each of you have chosen to walk in the door, and we are honored. And given how Unity people arrive, who knows how many more people will arrive before the service is over. So totally happy that you are here this morning. I invite you to join us for our Unity Statement of Faith. There is one power and one presence in the universe and in my life, God the good,
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. One more time. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
World peace. I am at peace as I welcome all the world's people into my heart. Modern life has made the farthest reaches of the planet accessible to me. Through technology advances, I have the ability to interact with people I would otherwise likely never have the chance to meet. Even across the mile, all the world's people are my neighbors, the people in the Middle East, and far, far away. We are all children of God, regardless of our religion. We are all divine beings. When I look at the world and everything that's going on, I may feel small, sometimes even smaller. But I know that as I meet other people and we see our similarities, just not our differences, this awareness helps me to know that in my heart, we are all one with the universal God. As more people discover our common humanity, strife and conflict will fade, and harmony and understanding and peace will dawn in every land. For this, I give thanks for the activity of God in my life that appears as grace, and I recognize that grace in everyone. This divine gift manifests as beauty, the beauty of the world, of all the people in it, and the comforting presence of God within and around us each day. And from Thessalonians 2, chapter 3, verse 16, now may the Lord of peace himself give you peace at all times and in all ways. May the Lord be with you now and always, for you are blessed to behold the God in everything. Amen.
And we breathe that in for just a second. I'm so grateful that I teach kids because I keep up on all the new music. And this one was just brought to me this week by one of my Montessori kids. And it's only 6 months old. It's a beautiful song from a woman from England, and I hope you enjoy it. Since I've gotten older, we are clear about things that really matter. We're just told that it does, and now just trying to keep our heads above water. If there's something you want to do, just do it. Don't let your head stop your heart from moving. If there's someone you want to talk to him. Who knows who we'd be if we just live more and love more. We all just need to live more and love more. We're not here anymore. It all comes down to who we were, not what we stood for. We had and not what we lived. So when we're told it does, maybe then we'll see that we have to keep our heads above the water. Not if we don't want to. If there's something you want to do, just do it. Don't let your head or your heart be moving. If there's someone you want to talk to them. Who knows where we'd be if we just live more and love more. We all just need to live more and love more. Choose it too. We can choose it too. 'Cause if there's something you want to do, just do it. Don't let your heart move in. Something you want to talk to else would you be if you just live more and love more? Here's the point of it all. Live more and love more. Who knows where we'd be if we just live more and love more? Who knows where we'd be if we just live more and love more? Thanks.
Sounds so simple, doesn't it? It amazes me that everyone from Confucius about 3,000 years ago almost, through the current age, have talked to us about how to get the world we want to live in. It's not a secret. Not like we don't know how. And yet we live in a world that seems to need to relearn the lessons over and over and over again. You know, what I really love about Roger Walsh's book, and by the way, if you don't have one, we have some we're happy to sell you or lend you, whichever you would prefer. And we have notebooks to go with the worksheets, which you see at the back door, so please grab a notebook if you aren't in the habit of journaling, and make the work happen inside of you. You know, if it worked to have a minister or a priest or a rabbi or an imam tell you, it would be fixed. Because it's not like we haven't been telling you as long as we've existed. It doesn't work that way. You have to do the work yourself. It's hard. It's a pain in the neck. People don't like to do it. And yet, that's the only way it works. And so, bless the SET team's hearts. And the SET team is Linda and Penny and Ken and Lori. They helped me choose. I was a little resistant to this book. Now, I recommended it because it came from, a minister's Facebook page where we talk about those kinds of things, and the woman who recommended is my friend, and I admire her, so I figured she might know something about it. But we have a man who tells you he's an admitted agnostic. He's a psychologist. He wrote the book back in 1999, so it's not exactly a current bestseller. And yet, I now know that it is exactly the right book for us to be studying at this time and in this place. The practice is, if practiced, not if listened to, but if actually practiced by you yourself with your own notebook and your own page, will change your life. And there's not a whole lot that we can offer you that does that, and this one does. So I'm behind the book. So Wanda awesomely talked about how to reduce your cravings, because in case you didn't notice, they get in the way. How to cultivate your wisdom, which I would call develop spiritual maturity. And today we're talking about ethics. Ethics, when rightly understood and practiced, if I know how to make that word be a neon flashing word, that would be flashing. And when practiced ethical living, being kind, compassionate, and truthful. God, doesn't that seem simple? All you have to do is be kind, compassionate, and truthful. Those are gifts for everyone and our means of awakening. The key word there, of course, is practiced. And unfortunately, for years, I don't care what church or synagogue or mosque you've attended, or whether you've attended none at all like Roger did, we just wanted to tell you, have you bob your head and go home. And it's not enough. So I would like to show you a synopsis of what ethics is. And by the way, I have 7 pages of notes, both sides. And if you'd like to stay till 2 or 3, I'm happy to share all of them with you. But you're probably going to get an edited version. But I did bring them in case you really wanted to hear them. So what does Taoism say about ethics? Regard your neighbor's gifts as your gain and your neighbor's loss as your own. And then we have Lao-Tzu, who says, a wise person is good to people who are good. She is also good to people who are not good. This is true goodness. Confucius say, rare are those who understand virtue. And Confucianism, and I'm not quite clear, don't ask me if there's a difference between him saying it and Confucianism, but they say, do not do unto others what you would not have them do to you. Now, does that sound a little familiar? Next slide, Ken. The Jewish tradition taught us that which is hurtful to you, do not do to your neighbor. The golden rule of Christianity. There's that typo there, Doris did it. Do unto others as you would have them do to you. And then since I've been a Unity minister, we've had a platinum rule. The platinum rule says, do unto others as they would have you do unto them. So instead of my deciding what's good for you, I might check it out and do what would actually bless you instead of what I think should bless you. So we have a little less than 3,000 years of wisdom right there. But we can't say we have 3,000 years of practice. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Why should we bother with virtue? Why should we bother with ethics? It's because we haven't seen the whole picture yet. You know, the world that you imagine, the world that you would like to live in, hold that vision. Benefits of virtue, according to Roger Walsh. When we deliberately steal or hurt someone, even ourselves, our minds are convulsed by painful emotions, such as anger, fear, and jealousy. Such emotions can be destructive to others, and they are also painful and damaging to us. Think about how you feel when you're really, really, really angry. Think about what your blood pressure is doing. Think about how you feel. Think about when you're really, 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 really sad. How much it hurts your heart. What we do, we become. You know, we teach you that your thoughts are prayers and you're always praying. Well, your actions are even an elevated version of that. So if what you're doing is against your own, not Doris's, but your own ethical standards, you pay a price. And he says that there's another really wonderful way to check. If you have to, if I have to, justify my behavior or words to others, it's a clue. It's a clue that we are engaging in destructive mental exercises, and we're the ones who are going to pay the price. We are all energized by the promise and lure of hope, and yet we are destroyed by our lack of hope. He has another clue. Do you have to stretch your values to get along with the others you're with? Unfortunately, I'm guessing that a lot of us may have had work environments at some point in time where we had to go along to get along. We know that expression, and we know it too well because most of us may have lived it at some point in our lives. So if you have to go along to get along, that might be a clue. What gives all of us, all people, the energy and the power to move forward is the vision of what could be. The Bible calls that the promised land. And it's the promise of a deeper level of living. It's not a promise of no problems. We can't promise that. This is life. We are having a human experience. But we get to choose how we're going to react to the problems. Once the toxic causes of unkindly, unethical behavior are recognized, life is never the same. For thousands of years, the great religions have talked about the cost of unethical living. And now we see that those costs are not only spiritual, but are also psychological, physical, and raising your blood pressure, as some of us know, can be life-threatening. But there are benefits of ethical living that we can gain. When we act ethically, we forgive instead of retaliate. Not the eye for an eye, tooth for tooth, but forgive that Jesus taught. Help instead of attack. Become a source of healing rather than pain. Ethical acts foster qualities such as love, generosity, so these qualities bloom within us. We have the potential to cultivate feelings of love and happiness by wishing that others may have those feelings too. We don't get to say, I want to be loving, happy, and healthy. Screw you. We can't do that because those words reverberate. Hinduism would tell you it's karma. So when it bounces back to us because of we sent it out, that's not a benefit. The Buddha pointed out whatever you do to yourself. Jack Kornfield, a lot of us know him. He was more popular back in the 80s and 90s. He said it's hard to sit down and have a good meditation after a day of lying, cheating, and hurting other people. Houston Smith, Wanda and I probably both studied Houston Smith's World Religions book. Houston Smith says, in the final analysis, goodness needs to become embodied in society. That doesn't happen through laws, but through the impress of our personalities. All we have to do is be good to each other. Let's see. Maybe there are 20 of us in this room. You only have to be good to 20 people. And then once you've mastered that, be good to the people on the other side. Be good to everyone. Confucius again says, whether we recognize it or not, each one of us has a central secret around which our life circles. It may be apparently abstract, like what is truth, what is wisdom, or it may be eminently practical, such as how can I learn to love? How can I best contribute to others? How can I do good to the world? What is my gift to the world? Whatever the question is, how we pursue it and live it is in a large part, it determines how fully and wholeheartedly we live and how peacefully and contentedly we die. So Confucius called it the secret question. We would call it our life's purpose, our credo. And that is our first question. What is your secret question?
I would say it changes.
Okay.
Some day by day sometimes, but I would say the overall is, how can I be loving kindness in this world? And I'm a coach, and what I tell people is, as you think of doing something, does it feel good? And if it does, it is likely good. If it feels uncomfortable or jarring, don't do it. And that has worked for me for a long time. So I work at it.
So this is a question for all of us. Which one of you is brave enough to answer?
I guess my question is this beneficial? Is it going to help others, help this world? Which is sort of like yours.
Confucius said his life question, his sacred question was, how do we live wisely and well? And Roger Walsh tells us that what Confucius did was spend his life searching for the answer to those questions. So all of the wisdom of Confucius that we have passed down to us over the years was his attempt to answer that question. So according to the great religions, the gift of ethics are reduced anxiety, reduced guilt, reduced fear. Another benefit is giving up worry, defensiveness, and denial. Another benefit is giving up bouts of self-doubt, depression. Wait a minute, where am I? Depression, self-doubt, and depression. I have to tell you, so when I do these notes, I read them, sections of the book, into my phone. And you know, voice to text doesn't always do it quite perfectly. So when I'm like going, it's because that's kind of what it says on the page. I thought I corrected them all, but I didn't. So another gift is a deepening sense of relaxation, calm, and peace. We want those things. We have the opportunity to get them through practicing the gifts of ethics. We have a greater capacity for openness, honesty, and intimacy. A sense of integrity, trust, and wholeness, close relationships, consideration, care, happiness, joy, and delight, a heart that is more open, kind, and loving, and a mind that is more open, sensitive, and awake. Sounds like something worth striving for, doesn't it? The words of the Buddha: speak and act, and happiness will follow you. As your shadow, unshakable, set your heart on doing good, do it over and over again, and you will be filled with joy. The Dalai Lama said we are visitors on this planet. We are here for maybe 90 or 100 years at the very most. During that time, we must try to do something good, something useful with our lives. We should try to be at peace with ourselves. Help others. Help them share the same peace that you have. Try to be at peace with yourself. If you contribute to others' happiness, you will find the true goal. That will be the meaning of life. 3 aspects of our lives we must attain if we are to live more consciously. Right speech. So right speech, right action, and do no harm. Those are the 3, but it'll take me a while to tell you all of it. So in the 3,000-year-old Hindu Vedas, sacred speech is seen as a primal creative force. So that concept comes from the Vedas. However, it also comes from the Christian Gospel of John, which says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." Both attest to the power of speech. Not my speech, your speech. My speech for me. So there's a wonderful story in this book that I'm kind of going to paraphrase to you. The story is of a teacher, about middle school age kids, and she had a relatively contentious classroom. And she decided to have an assignment, and she passed out blank paper to everyone, and she had everyone write down the name of each child in the class on a separate piece of paper. And then on that piece of paper, they were supposed to list the nicest thing they could say about each person. And then she took all those papers in and took each name and listed all the attributes, all the nice things that everyone said about them, and gave them out to the kids. And it changed the energy in the classroom from one of contention to one of appreciation of what everyone liked about everybody else, what they enjoyed. So years pass, as happens, and this was back during the Vietnam War era. And one young man was killed in Vietnam, and when his effects were sent back to his parents, they discovered his piece of paper that he had saved for many, many years. He had carried it with him into battle, and those words were used at his memorial service. And it turned out that quite a few of his classmates could also reach in their wallet or purse and produce that piece of paper of what their classmates had said were their nicest traits. Good words are worth much. They can heal the deepest wounds. Warm words can heal. Unethical speech can destroy. I'm guessing again that if you search your own memory, you can remember what so-and-so said or you overheard back in the day, and you remember how painful that was, how much they hurt. Roger Walsh goes on to say, a lie, especially by someone with power, can cause untold suffering. Those are the words of the author, Roger Walsh, and remember this book was first published in 1999. Those words are not directed to anyone that may come to your mind instantly. The Bible's advice on good words come from, I think it's Sirach, I've forgotten, it's not a chapter, a book of the Bible that I use often. That's a Jewish work written in Hebrew, and it's in the Catholic Bible, and it's in the Eastern Orthodox Bible, but it's not in most Christian Bibles. The words say, curse the gossips and the double-tongued, for they destroy the peace of many. Many have fallen by the edge of the sword, but not as many as have fallen because of the tongue. Right speech. Right action. Right action focuses on doing what is beneficial to everyone, including yourself. Love others as I have loved you. That's from Jesus. Right action is a kind of enlightened self-interest. It serves our well-being, but it serves the well-being of others as well. First, do no harm. We have a couple of doctors in the room. They recognize that as the Hippocratic Oath, which is about 2,400 years old. Our best example is Mahatma Gandhi. He was an example of non-harming in modern times, as was Martin Luther King Jr., who said, the nonviolent approach does not immediately change the hearts of the oppressor. This is a great line. It first does something to the hearts and souls of those who are committed to it. It gives them a new self-respect. It calls up resources of strength and courage that they didn't know that they had. Finally, it reaches the opponent's soul and stirs his consciousness that reconciliation can become a reality. It goes on to say we have to heal the past. And it says that the words of Paul in Romans 7, verses 15 and 16, are to be committed to heart for all of us. because there are quite a few of us who think that if we're going to do it, we should do it perfectly. Bzzz. Paul said, I don't understand my own actions, for I do what I don't want to do, but the very thing I hate. When we think we're going to do it perfectly, we've set ourselves up to fail immediately. Roger Walsh reflects that you spend time reflecting on your own good deeds. Try to tell the truth for one day, and if that's too long, try it for an hour so that you can succeed. Give up gossip. It's that old game of telephone. I tell you, you tell someone else, they tell someone else, and if it comes back to the originator, it can't even recognize it anymore. Do no harm. Communicate only to heal. Try and right one wrong. Go forth and practice. I invite you simply to take a deep breath and to join me in the stillness. Breathing into the love and energy in this room. Seeing it multiplied. Rucker song says, I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the seas. Sending love to all of the Ukrainians. Sending love to all of the Russians. Sending love to the Israelis. Sending love to all of the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. Sending love to all those whose homes have been destroyed by earthquakes, fires, floods, hurricanes, tornadoes. We cannot do all the good that the world needs, but we can send love. Sending love to all those who are hurting in any way. Sending love to those in pain. Sending love to those who grieve. Feeling the energy that builds in this very room. Allowing yourself to absorb that energy. We cannot give what we do not have. Blessing yourselves first. Surrounding your inner child with the arms of love. Giving that child love for those times when its caregivers couldn't give it to them as they needed it, as we needed it. Absorbing the energy of silence. Knowing that it is not simply a component in this building. It is within each of us, and we can call it up at any time. As Penny did yesterday, we bless all of the pets and the animals. All of our children and grandchildren. All of the immigrants who strive so difficultly to get to us because of their dream of what it means to be an American. There is no bounds to the love that we can send. If you can imagine it, you can see it. If we can see it together, we can help bring it into manifestation. We are grateful for each other, for the opportunity to be together, and to bless each other and our world. So we simply say thank you. Thank you. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen.
Alleluia, 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 alleluia. We are one now, 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 we are one now.
So this is the time in our service when we have an opportunity to give. We share our gifts by giving back into the community. We share with Unity Worldwide Ministries. We share with the regional, which is South Central Regional Unity Region, because we know that your generosity sparks our generosity, which blesses the world. So if you need a different way to give, I bet you we do it. There's a square in the back for cards. We actually take cash, oh my God, and checks. So many opportunities to give. I invite you to join us in our offertory blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Go make a difference. We can make a difference. Go make a difference in the world. Go make a difference. We can make a difference. Go make a difference in the world. Go make a difference. We can make a difference. Go make a difference in the world. Go make a difference. We can make a difference. Go make a difference in the world.
We were unprepared for such brevity.
No
Awesome.
worries.
Thank you. Great song.
Absolutely.
So I would remind you, books, if you haven't gotten one, you can't practice if you don't know what the practices are. Journals, if you aren't in the habit of journaling and don't have one, please, we'd love to gift you with one. Those are in the back. The practices are next to the door. If you want to grab one of those, it's the best way to do the work. So, those are our children that are sometimes in the room. So I invite you to generate a little energy, and we'll send it out to them and to your own inner child. You are loved, special, and important. We see you and bless the divine being that you are. And our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am that light. The love of God enfolds us. I am that love. The power of God protects us. I am that power. The presence of God watches over us. I am that presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you for being here.